5-on-4, 6-on-4.
We win. Winning team.
Hey.
Come in.
Yeah.
15.
Seconds. 5, 4, pray.
Our place, where we can dream and share it. Our place, we'll find a friend to care it.
Woo! We are Our Place Out Loud. I am your lovely and captivating host, Louise Palanker, here with our musical director, Rob Iceman Eisenberg.
Howdy,
and,
howdy.
We've got a studio full of wise and excellent teenagers. We've got Jacob, Rory, Kimute, Ryan, Olivia, Alex, Austin, and Aaron, and I am good with names because that was a lot of people. And we have grown-up guests in the studio. Of course, we've got Howard, we've got Matt, we've got Trish, we've got Sharon, who's new in town from Nashville. So she has a lovely accent. Hopefully we'll get her on mic soon. And we've got all sorts of exciting stuff to discuss tonight, including, yes, kids, you asked for it. Here it is, Chat Theater. Look forward to that halfway through the show. Does anyone have anything new or exciting to report? Has anyone gotten married, had a baby, anything? Ryan?
I have a driver's license.
Oh. Terrifying. That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So where did you go?
Culver City.
Nice.
Cop out.
What do they have over there?
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's not a real driver's license unless you went to the Santa Monica DMV.
No, I went
where
to
they
Santa
fail
Monica
you every
DMV,
time.
and the guy was so mean.
Oh,
the guy at
no.
Santa Monica was
They're
so
so mean.
and he failed me, so that's why I went to.
Who did you have?
Oh, no. Olivia?
I went to Van Nuys to get my license the first time, and then I went somewhere else after because the guy was so mean to me, and he kept asking me whether I knew like where the lights were, and I'm like, yeah, it's on the little thing because I have a Prius, and the air conditioning's there too, and I accidentally hit the air conditioning, and he wouldn't even let me drive out of the parking lot. Yeah.
Ryan wants to top that story.
Yeah, so I'm at Santa Monica, and you know how they have you show them your arm signals, which is like right, left, and slowing
Right.
down. Right. So the guy's like, "Show me your left." So I'm like, "Okay," and then he like marks off a point, and he's like, "Show me your left." So I do it again. And he says it like 3 more times. He marks off a point every time, and then he's like, "Your left blinker," and I'm like, "You could have said that."
Yeah,
And
those
then
are
I
trick questions.
Was it the guy with the beard?
Yeah, the big guy.
Oh,
with the
we
white
don't
beard.
like him.
He failed me my first time too.
Oh,
So mean.
he's
Failed my brain.
evil.
So evil.
Austin.
He loves just destroying kids' dreams.
Him and Alex Trebek.
Yeah, I took it at Van Nuys also, and that was really brutal. I mean, the second time I failed, I failed twice. But the second time I didn't deserve to. The guy said I turned left on a red light, and I totally didn't. But his explanation of that was, if you're in the intersection, then you can't see the light. I saw the light, therefore you weren't in the intersection. But that doesn't even make sense because you can totally see the lights from the intersection.
The same thing happened to me the second time too.
Well,
Exact
I
same.
think that if any adult like had to randomly go over there and take the test right now, we would fail horribly. So I just want to say that like you really don't learn how to drive until you're driving, and I know that sounds like very unsafe, but the good news about it is that while you don't know how to drive, when you first get your license, you drive really carefully. And when you do know how to drive, you don't drive carefully. So it's a little of one, a little of another, and it all. Just always treat driving like with the respect that it deserves, and never take it for granted. Like you can't multitask. Like you can't drive and do anything else other than drive. You just have to drive. That has to be your primary activity. It can't be like secondary to putting on your makeup or texting. Never, ever, ever. Oh, that Facebook thing that's going around. It just says if you honk if you believe in Jesus, text and drive if you want to meet him. So, yeah, it's old, but it's good. I mean, it should be in the Bible. It's so good.
Also, bikers are the worst. Yeah. They're just like sit in your lane. Like it's okay. It's a 45 zone. I'm gonna go 10, and I'm like, okay.
All right, we're gonna dive into questions here because we've got some fun stuff to discuss. Who wants to read a Rubik's Cube's question?
I guess I will.
Ryan likes talking.
I do like talking.
I've heard.
All right, you've heard me talk a
Yes,
lot.
and if you have any thoughts on Ryan's question and or driving, give us a call at 888-531-7171.
Okay, Rubik's Cube. My mom thinks it's weird I have friends that are boys. Sometimes she won't let me text them or hang out with them alone. When she was my age, the girls didn't even talk to boys, let alone have any boys as friends. I guess where she lived and the time period difference sometimes gets between us. Oh, and I'm 14. That may be helpful.
Well, I think the dinosaurs helped protect your mother from the boys, so they had that going on back then. But, everyone's mom had a different experience with boys. Like, my mom always would say to us, well, we went on group dates, or there was just always group activities. And, whenever you do your mom's voice, that's pretty much how she's going to talk in the story, but no moms actually talk that way. So, base it on not just like, now's different, because now everyone always says now is different, but it really never is different. It's like teenagers are always going to be teenagers, and their parents are always going to be worried about the same biological dangers, which are that you're going to get pregnant. And it really just boils down to that at the end of the day. So if you can assure your mom that you know how to have male friends without getting pregnant, she will be relieved. And does anyone disagree that that's what it really is all about? Rory?
Yeah, well, I've heard it sucks a little more being a girl. I mean, as a guy, my mom couldn't get me out of the house fast enough. Like, I was sleeping over people's houses in, like, 3rd grade, and she's like, don't come home. So, yeah, I feel for you. I cannot relate to it, but I feel for it.
Ryan?
I wasn't going to say I disagree, but I think another aspect of it is she's not worried that you can't handle yourself, but more so that the guys can't handle themselves. And so you have to assure your mom that you're making friends who have good judgment and aren't going to step over any lines.
Yes,
Olivia?
but also women are the gatekeepers. They just don't realize it. Like, you get to say no if you're a girl. Olivia?
Well, what I would do if my mom was ever like, I don't know. They just don't seem, I don't know. I would have their parents talk to my mom, and that would make her feel better. Like, because if you're allowing, like, communication, she's like, well, they have nothing to hide.
That's a good point. If it's like open and not secretive. Q.
Yeah, introduce the parents or introduce your friend to your mom and, like, have it just be a kid that she knows, because then it's not as bad.
Yeah, because if you have male friends and you value them as friends, and like, I would know that if a girl had Austin or Aaron for a friend, that would be a good friend to have. Like, just look at them.
Well, not with that shirt.
No, every boy on the panel would be a good friend, a good loyal friend for a girl, and would respect a girl. And girls have to say too, like, this is making me uncomfortable. Like, you're hugging me a little too close or whatever. Like, you don't have to just agree with whatever the boy. Hey, let's snuggle. Like, if you wait, we're friends. Why are we snuggling? Like, you get to say something. You have a voice. Q.
Yeah. I think that it's way more comfortable for a parent to, when they ask, who are you hanging out with, and you can say the boy's name, and then they're like, oh, I know him, rather than my friend so-and-so, and they don't know this person.
Another good idea would be to only hang out with guys who have, like, those androgynous names, like Tracy or
Lauren.
Lauren or
Is it a boy or a girl?
Alex, yeah. Aaron,
Sam.
Murray.
Pretty much every name now. It's like, look at my daughter Jim.
My name is actually...
Madison.
Isn't she a doll?
My name can actually be used for boy and girl, too.
Oh, really? Okay. Excellent.
Right.
Excellent. All right. Olivia, I'm going to have you read Drama Princess 14's question, but first with a jingle from the Iceman. Uh-oh. Are we prepared?
Oh, we're prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Drama Princess 14.
He looks
Oh,
so
keep
prepared.
talking. Anyway, so when Olivia starts to read this question, you guys are going to be like, oh, my God, that totally relates to my life, because one time...
I can read it first, and then we
was-
can jingle.
That's true.
Here it is, I got
All right,
it.
ready?
Okay.
All you teens, you're in luck, 'cause her mic's on. Let's hear from Olivia. Wow, wasn't that totally worth it, everybody?
Hey!
Okay, so
You
Drama
see, Jacob,
Princess
there was a
14.
band called the Beatles once, and they used and
Jacob's 12. Cut to shot of Jacob, please. He's really young. We don't have a camera. Lean in. Yay.
He's going to be the
it's
new.
Jacob, everybody.
He's going to be
He
the
will
new
friend
Ryan
you on
versus Jacob.
Instagram. He's a very nice boy that your parents will approve of. Go ahead.
Okay. One of my best friends, who is pretty wealthy, is constantly bragging about everything she has. I'll be texting her, and she'll send me a picture of her new clothes or room decor or boat. What?
Oh, I just got a boat. Just a little
It's
something I
Tuesday.
picked up at the mall.
Or anything. And she'll be like, look at my new blank. Don't you love it? I mean, I wouldn't mind if it was once in a while, but she does it all the time. And it's all she ever wants to talk about. She's always talking about her stuff, her vacation, her pets, her house. It gets so annoying, but I don't want to say anything because she gets really sensitive, and then she won't talk to you for a month. My other friends get annoyed by it too. I don't know what to do.
Conundrum. Aaron.
It sounds to me like she doesn't feel that she alone is worth being your friend, and that she needs these things to stay interesting and appealing to her, to herself, and to her friends. That probably came out oddly, but
No, it makes perfect sense.
okay. Well, the bottom line is maybe you should show her that you care about her and not about the things that she buys or the things that she owns. Or
So if there were a nice way to say, like, people always feel like when they're young, like, oh, I'm going to either say this or I'm going to not say it. And it's a choice between being nice or coming across as being kind of harsh. But there's always a way. Challenge yourself. There's always a way to say what you need to say and almost make it sound like a compliment. Like if you said to the kid, like, hey, I'm really way more interested in, like, who you are and what you like to do than your things. So can we talk about kind of what you did today? And then she'd be like, well, on my boat, we...
Right,
No,
it'll be a
it can be
process.
tricky, but like you start with you open with a compliment, right? You always open with a compliment. You're awesome, and I think you're really great as a person and stuff. And so maybe we could talk about like our common interests and not just things you got, because that your things are not what I value in you, and because she's either wanting you to feel jealous, which is a false sense of self-esteem. So it's inauthentic if she wants to make you jealous, and it's inauthentic if she only thinks that would be why people would be impressed with her. And that came out wrong too, but Austin knows how to say things nicely. Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Open with a compliment, and if you can, possibly end with a compliment. And just remember that if all doesn't go well, then the worst that's going to happen is she won't talk to you for a month, and you won't have to hear about any boats or any of that stuff for a while. She'll come back and then hopefully apologize to you, and it'll all go well from there.
Well, what if it's a really nice boat?
It could be a really nice boat, and you could also ask her butler to tell her the bad news.
Then he'd lose his job.
Oh,
You'd
no.
cost someone their job.
Oh no, we don't want to have another butler out of work, because go ahead, Rory.
What if it's just a roundabout way of her asking you to come with her on her boat? Maybe she wants you to join her
I'd
on the
love to hear-
boat. Also, according to Tina Fey, she'll probably eventually get hit by a bus. So
Oh, that's good news.
Tell her
Mean
you'd love to
Girls,
hear
Mean
about.
Girls reference. Anyone?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
These kids are too young.
I'm right there with
Oh
you.
no, kids watch Mean Girls.
Yeah,
it's
you'd
on
be
loop.
surprised.
Yeah, it's on loop. All right, so there's ways to handle that, but there's no way that you just have to sit there and listen to all that, because people shouldn't feel like that's the way to get other people to value them. It's not about belongings. It never has been. It never will be.
Also, at the beginning of the question, you said one of your best friends. So it sounds like you guys do have things to talk about. So focus on that.
Yeah, or you'd be like, hey, check out my new rubber bands. Like,
Check out my
totally
new hand-me-downs.
Yeah, look at. I just went to the curb and I found some pebbles. Totally free. Go ahead,
Of your
Austin.
Payless shoes.
The other thing would be to spark conversation that lends itself to like an answer that isn't so superficial. Maybe say something like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? But something that's not like a job interview, but something deeper like that.
I like a job
Yeah.
interview. Yeah,
On a
like
boat.
what are your core values? All right, so what other jingles do we have lined up tonight, Ice?
Well, we've got one for Alex.
All right.
and
Yes,
I
yes,
do
yes.
have one for Jacob. I do one if we go to Jacob. I have
All right,
one.
we're gonna go to Jacob. Don't worry, he's not getting out of here unscathed. But let's do Alex, and then after your jingle, Alex, we can you can do the question from Emma Rose. Okay?
I am honored.
Right.
All right, this one's really hard, so let's see what happens here. Okay, can't read my own writing. What is this here? Okay, here we go.
Alex.
Now we're gonna hear from a guy who will be your new pal. This is really hard. First we heard from Wheezy, and now we're gonna hear from a guy named Alex.
Alex.
Yeah, that was really bad. I'm
so
sorry.
we'll work
okay.
on that.
Womp
We'll
womp.
work on that. But it's Paul Simon's song.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase is in the video. Look it up. It's really good. Go ahead. Read Amarosa's question.
All right. Hey, so my best guy friend has been asking me to come over lately. He has a GF and everything, and before they got together, we kissed a couple times and discussed getting together, but we never did. Now he's like texting me, saying how much he wants me to cuddle with him. I'm sorry, wants me to cuddle with someone.
No, how much he wants to.
How much he wants to cuddle with someone.
Cuddle with someone.
I'm rough. I'll admit that I like him, but does this mean he likes me too? Yeah. And if so, what should I do? And what about the girlfriend?
Ryan, the hand is way up, way up. Go.
We've been preparing.
And
Yeah.
like, here.
I'm outraged.
It's pretty, it's pretty like this is one of the few things that's pretty black and white, which is like he's in a relationship, so you shouldn't do anything with him while he's in a relationship, and if you and he yes he likes you, and so it's basically whether or not he wants to just like not do anything with you, or if he does want to have a relationship with you, then he has to handle his girlfriend first and do something about that, which I don't think is the smart choice. I think it's a bad idea to just like break up with your girlfriend and like date someone else. But yeah, you can't do anything with him while he's dating someone.
It sounds like he's trying to get something on the side, and the whole thing sounds pretty shady to me. Any other thoughts, Aaron?
Yeah, I mostly feel it's clear cut. I mean, I mostly agree with you. I mean, it's just a matter of in a relationship, so don't go there at all. Do what you can to say, listen, remember, we're friends, so let's chill out. If he gets too forward about any of this, I would maybe even an idea that I had, maybe even like make friends with his girlfriend, because then that would make things really difficult if you're always talking with her as well.
But just know that just hope that nothing goes bad, because then if it does, then you've
well,
got a
no,
bigger problem.
but
on
you
your
also know
hands.
it's not going to be your fault.
Well, the thing is,
yeah.
whether you like the guy or not makes no difference, because your behavior should stay the same.
Right.
Your behavior should be behavior that you yourself are going to be proud of and be able to accept in yourself. And especially if you like him, this is not the way to ever begin a relationship with someone while they're dating someone else. Yes. Jacob?
My say on it would be that, don't try to get in the middle of them. You would probably have to go to the guy first to talk to his girlfriend about it. And, because you don't want to get in between someone in their relationship, like you're with the guy, but then the girlfriend's still there,
Mm-hmm.
You would have to talk to him about trying to figure things out with his girlfriend first before he
Right.
tries to go with someone else.
Yeah, so you are well within your rights to say, I'm not comfortable cuddling with somebody who's dating somebody else, because I wouldn't want my boyfriend doing that to me. And, he might not be expecting you to be so upfront about it, and then he might be like, oh, if I'm going to mess around, I better find someone who's more into doing things that are, on the down low. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I think that also it's something to value when you have your best guy friend. That's how you labeled the person. And a best guy friend is somebody that you can always talk to about your problems with other guys. So maybe value this guy and not try to always be looking for a relationship with any guy that you're friends with. I know that you're in that point in time where you're really looking for a guy, but there's plenty out there.
And it's a good point. If it's her best guy friend, she can really just say to him, like, this is not cool. Like, I like you, and you're just going to get yourself in trouble behaving this way. It's just not a cool way to behave.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah, that's a great thing to do. And then if you're not comfortable with doing that, you can just kind of be like, are you flirting with me? And then it'll be like, oh, yeah, I have a girlfriend, and that's flirting. And like he knows he's doing it, but once you put it on the table, it kind of changes the dynamic.
Yeah. So we are at 888-531-7171 here with a large panel of wonderful teens that having summer fun. They're all here. We've got Jacob. He's 12 years old, so if you want advice from a very, very wise and brilliant 12-year-old who's a boy and knows what boys think, and give him a call, 888-531-7171. Then we've got Rory, Kiamute, Ryan, Olivia, Alex. Of course, Team Alex and Team Ryan are once again at war.
Yeah, I want to see some people talking about this. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been on hiatus for too long.
Yeah.
And me and Rye guy right here.
I knocked him into hiding.
Yeah,
He's finally out of hiding.
Yeah,
and,
I came out of hiding because I said, okay, he'll be wearing a blue shirt tonight, and that means that it's war.
Oh yeah, it's a color war. Sure.
Yeah, it's color war,
Uh-huh.
of course.
And
It's
then
the
we
best
have
cat
Aaron and
game.
Austin. And so what's exciting is that Alex has been at college in Irvine. Aaron and Austin have been at college in Santa Barbara. Rory has been at college at USC. And so there's all kinds of turf wars that could potentially be going on. But we're proving that people can get along,
We shall overcome.
even if your mascots are sworn enemies. Do you have a song for that?
They are the world.
They are the world.
Yes.
Imperfectly
A
Me.
bear versus a guy with a single
Imperfectly Me writes, is it easy to get over one person who you still love, but they broke your heart? So, you've had your heart broken, young Jacob?
No, I just have something to say.
Okay, I
about
would love to
that.
hear it.
I would just say it's really all on the age. Like if you're younger, like it doesn't really matter that much. Chances are, unless it's like something really serious, unless you're like 20, 30, whatever. But it really depends on the age. From I say that if you're younger, don't worry about it too much. You'll get over it eventually.
Well, even if you're the same age as Desiree from The Bachelorette, it takes
Ooh.
about 48 hours
Didn't
to
get
get
that
over
Wait, don't talk
heartbreak
about it. I
and
haven't watched it yet.
I
accept
don't
the
know what that
proposal
means.
of
Right
a
over my
completely
head.
different guy. I'm sorry.
There was a sporting event last night. Rye guy missed it.
She's been banned by Major League Baseball. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Oh God, what did she do?
No.
Oh, it's a long story. If you want me to go into it. See, it lights up the phones when you talk Bachelorette. Go ahead,
Like
Keo.
she was one of the 12
Okay.
players suspended.
To the question, no, it's not easy to get it like simple. It's, you love them. You have to get over that.
Yep, you have to walk through your pain. The only cure to the pain is the pain itself.
Yeah.
The cure is the disease, and you will come out the other side once you feel what you're supposed to feel,
and
and no one
facing
said
it.
it's supposed to be easy. It's not. Ryan.
My family is like chock full of examples like this. My grandpa has been mad at my grandma for like 40 years, and he's still like aggressively mad at her. Like he's
Are they married? Are they the married?
no,
ones,
they're
or-
not. They're
Oh,
divorced
okay.
now. Like he'll like get up and walk out of my cousin's bat mitzvah, like because she sat on the other side of the room. But then there's like my dad who like is really happy that my mom just got engaged because he's like, oh, like he still kind of loves her. He won't admit it, but he does. And so he's just like happy that she's happy. So be the latter, and just it's hard to do, but don't be mad at people for 40 years.
No, because that's giving them too
Never.
much power in your life. Why do they deserve that much power?
My grandma
your
doesn't even
your
know it.
freedom is living. Rory.
Yeah, no, Ryan's right. You'll if it's especially if it's your first love or your real love, like you'll never get over the heartbreak, but it's better to handle it in a mature, healthy way. Like
Never
that.
leave a bat mitzvah
Never leave a bat mitzvah.
just because.
Angry.
Or
never
never-
leave a bat mitzvah angry.
Angry.
No, never.
and
And
don't.
then
Especially
there
after
was
the
the
hot
time
one.
when my brother was born, and I'm not going to go on too long of a tangent here, but my brother was born, and my grandma and my step grandpa were in the hospital, and they got there before my grandpa, and he was mad that they saw the child first or whatever. And so my grandma turns to him, and he and the angry one, his name's Shell, and she goes, "Congrats, Shell, we have a grandson." Explicit you, and then him and my step grandpa got into a fight in the hospital, and now they hate each other. Like,
I think a steel cage grudge match would solve everything. We have a caller.
yeah, he was. Congrats,
Hello, who's there?
This is Jordan Chris Colfer.
Hello, how are you, young lady?
Good, how are you?
How's the husband? I heard he has a book out this week.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I got the sample of it already because he wouldn't let me read it yet.
Oh, I thought he was going to give you the galleys to go over with him.
No,
No. Oh, well, he can be that way, you know. So what do you have on your mind?
I'm just calling in because Jake on chat told me to.
Oh, all right. Have you listened to any of the questions so far? Did you have anything to add?
What was the question? My computer's freezing up.
Someone was asking how long it takes to get over someone if they broke your heart.
Well, that just depends.
Yeah, huh.
Depends on you.
Ah.
Well, you as in the person.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people, it could take a short amount of time, and some, it could take almost a lifetime.
Well, I don't think it should take a lifetime. I think that you should feel the pain and behave as if you're not feeling the pain. Because if you behave, if you make yourself go and do things and talk to people, if you look across the room and you're like, there's that kid, all right, I'm going to go talk to him. And it may not happen that day or the day after or the day after that, but all of a sudden you're going to realize that you're actually having the good time you were pretending to have. And have we all experienced that? I know I have. It's difficult because the kid that you're talking to doesn't deserve for you to be half-assing the conversation, but you'd be surprised at, how quickly you can almost feel like you're actually having a good time just by acting like you are. Go ahead, Keo.
I don't know if you know this, but Sio and I broke up like a while ago.
I did know that.
So I am getting over this. I don't even like to put it as I'm getting over it, because she's still special to me and she's still someone that I care for. So it's like, it's not something I want to get over, but I'm kind of at peace with being not her boyfriend anymore, because I know that I can still enjoy it. But what I was gonna say was, one of the things that helped me get through it was talking about it, and talking about it to my friends, and to right after it happened, I have a really close group of friends of six people, and I just talked to them about it, and was really open, and to get their feedback, to be like, we're here for you, we still love you and everything. That helped me, and it helped me feel oh, I'm not. And part of it was I felt so alone, because I'm more alone than I was a second ago.
Yeah.
So that really helped, because I wasn't so alone anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a process, and you do have to walk right through it, and it feels like you're walking through flames. But then when you come out and you realize I'm still a person, and my life has meaning, and excuse me. And things happen for a reason. You come into each other's lives for a reason. You go to different schools for a reason. You're doing the reasonable thing for people your age, and falling in love for a lifetime is timing. And when you come back together, maybe the forever love that that it could be. There's no one telling you it won't be. And so everything happens for a reason, and you have to experience what you're meant to experience at that time period in your life, and just know that love awaits you, and it's there for you. It's just maybe not, the pendulum is swinging this way, and it's toughening you up for the long distance, to go the long distance with somebody forever, and you're just going to be a better man.
And I'm sure that if I weren't the type of person to kind of face my feelings head on, I would still be really hurting over it, and having a really tough time. But I was able to, partly because of just kind of how I am, and partly because of the people that were around me, I was able to face it directly, and kind of analyze myself and think about how I'm feeling, and just not hide from my own feelings, and not hide from the pain, because I knew I was going to be sad, and I knew I was going to, it was going to hurt. So I let it hurt.
Right. You let it hurt. And then when it's their turn for you to be there for them, you'll have more knowledge about what is a good thing to say, because you'll remember what was a good thing to have said to you at that time. Ryan?
Something that Keo just talked about that I want to elaborate and reiterate is just that a lot of times it is best, as painful as it is, to just face your feelings head on, no matter what the feeling really is, because when you're avoiding them, you still know they're there, and that's a stressor, and then you're going to encounter them at some point, and that's just even more painful. So you've got stress and pain, whereas if you go right at them, you can get through them. And if it's someone you loved, it's not about, like Keo said, getting over them, but it's accepting the circumstances and being at peace with that.
Very well said. Very well said. All right, let's move. You know what, Howard? It might be time for chat theater. What do you think? Might be. Thank you for calling, Mrs. Colfer. Give my love to your husband. We think he's adorable. All right, so everyone, please turn in your scripts to the page that says debating chat theater.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say turn in your homework. I was like,
please
I
turn.
forgot my homework.
Please turn in your hymnal to nearer my God to thee.
Rory ate my homework.
You know that one, right?
Sure.
All right, so I say how's the best way to do chat theater? I haven't assigned roles or anything. Do you have a song for chat theater, Iceman?
I do indeed.
Okay, go.
We will chat and then we'll chat some more because chat theater is starting now. So we'll chat and chat just as long as time allows.
Woo! So this chat was begun by Gummy Bear, and I think we're just going to go around the room. Although then we have the mic swinging back and forth. Probably should have prepared better for this. So why don't we make it between 3 people? We'll have it between Keo, Ryan, and Alex, and just go back and forth line.
Do you want to do it?
Oh, you want to be country boy? Okay, Rory.
Country
Okay.
boy.
I want you to do it too. I'll just be country boy.
Okay, at Country Boy, we'll just stop.
All right,
and
you'll
it'll
just be
Rory.
okay. All right, ready?
Excellent.
Who wants to start?
I
Alex or Ryan? You can be start with Gummy Bear.
All right. Your thoughts on permanent tattoos?
Really bad for you and not actually that attractive. No, that's you.
Oh,
boy.
wait. I thought we were rotating.
You're Gummy Bear.
Oh, I totally agree. I think they're downright ugly and they attract negative attention.
I like them depending on what they're of and where they are.
I'd prefer a henna tattoo.
Well, I'm getting tribal bands on my biceps and barbed wire intertwining on both arms when I'm 16, 17. And tattoos, the real ones that deserve to be called tattoos, mean something to the person.
Go ahead, Alex.
I don't think it's right.
How is it not right? It's perfectly okay. Body modifications don't define how good of a person someone is. My parents both have tattoos.
Yeah, it allows people to show themselves. I'm country boy. 020.
Hey, leave Country Boy alone. He's one of our favorite.
Oh my
Tattoo.
Okay, should I do? Okay.
I got it. Okay. Tattoos are okay, only if they are okay. Something that you would show a child or something. Like my friend's stepdad has the dumbest tattoos. We were going to a water park and he had to wear a shirt because of his tattoos. He had one across the chest that said F the world. It said fuck the world, and a naked lady on his ribs. And those are the ones I remember. So put time into thinking about getting a tattoo. I like them.
My dad has sick naked lady tattoos. Lol.
Why does he have an accent?
Oh dang!
Why does Green Day have an accent?
That's what
I think we were all going south.
Yeah, this bit went south a long time ago.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cats.
Oh, sorry. Personally, I like tattoos and I've liked them for years. They show the personality of a person, even if it's a stupid personality. When I'm old enough, I probably will get one. I'm thinking either a barcode on the back of my neck or ankle.
Oh my.
That would be mine. Lucky Charms on the back of my neck, barcode. But I know I want a white ink on my collarbone that wraps up to my neck.
Cupcake lover.
I like the tattoos.
Tattoos?
I like the tattoos depending on where they are. My sister has a tattoo that says hope, faith, courage, and it has a breast cancer.
Breast cancer.
Shh, not joking. Breast cancer ribbon at the end of memory of my mom. She got it on her foot so it can be hidden. Those are the kind of meaningful tattoos that I like.
Splash.
I think they're ugly. Anyway, when you become old, do you really want that tattoo on you?
Cats.
I probably would. It's good to be a story. It's good. It'd be a good story to tell and explain.
Obsessed with the world.
I see nothing wrong with them, but I guess it's what you have of them. Have them of. If they're of something that represents a family member, then what's the big deal? My friend has 2. One is mind over matter, and the other one is courage over fear, and I love them.
Weirdo number 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
It's like your grandkids ask you why you have a tattoo of a naked lady on your shoulder. Lol.
Splash.
That would be awkward.
Nina Greer.
Go ahead.
Bad idea unless it's something really meaningful and you don't think you'll ever regret it.
Same person.
My dad is...
Southern again.
I couldn't put all my thoughts in one thing. My dad is covered with mainly meaningless tattoos, but he never regrets them. My mom has one with a lily and all 4 of her kids' names. Never regretted them. It really just matters if you regret them or not.
Lucas Evans.
Okay. If people wanted a tattoo, why would they regret it? It's something that tells its own story.
Senior Buckley.
At Cat, before you get a barcode tattoo, you should definitely consider what you want yourself to ring up as.
I love this. This is a good
Definitely
ending.
take your time on that one. I'd hate to have myself scanned and find out that I'm way overpriced.
Good answer, Senior Buckley. That was really good. So you guys want to talk about tattooing? Go ahead, Ryan.
I just want to make a quick point before we
Yeah.
get into tattooing, which is just that Lucas Evans said if people wanted a tattoo, why would they regret it? There are a lot of things people want and then later on regret.
Oh,
so
yes.
just don't. If you want it, it doesn't mean you won't regret
That
it.
is true, Lucas. Just because you don't regret it at 18 doesn't mean that you won't regret it at 45. My brother-in-law has a tattoo that he got in the Navy or something in there. I wish I knew more about where he got it, but maybe he was in the Navy. But it's right here. And so even when he's wearing like short sleeves like Ryan, you can see it. Now he's a lawyer and he goes to work and he wears long sleeves and you can't see it. But believe me, if he could undo that, he would. So you don't know where your life is taking you, and you don't know where tattoos would have to be hidden or would not be appropriate. And so do give it a lot of thought before going ahead and inking up. Go ahead, Olivia.
Okay, so my friend Sarah's brother got a tattoo that was supposed to say no regrets, but it says no regrets. And it's right
fail.
across his chest, so that sucks.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say spell check.
Yeah.
And tattoo sober.
That's
Yeah, no,
just
he wasn't.
irony.
And then, so I know 6 different people with a tattoo of a feather that, like, goes off and is little tiny birds. And it's the same tattoo, and they all have it on their shoulder, and they didn't do it together. They just all saw it on Tumblr, and were like, that's so pretty, I'm going to
Wow.
get it. And it's just like, oh, all right.
I have a really good one with
awesome.
spelling. It's in this movie I saw where there's these 2 kids and they run into this lady like on a raft and she's got a tattoo and she's all proud of it and she's like 18 and the kids are like 12 and this one kid he's like Jacob's age. The kid goes, "Yeah, your angel tattoo?" And the girl's like, "Yeah." He goes, "That actually says angle."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, it doesn't." He goes, "Yeah, it does." Rory.
Yeah, speaking of ironic tattoos, I had a kid one of the guys who I lived with in college who, you know how kids get them on their lips, like on the bottom of their lips? He got one that says dumbass.
Well, yeah.
Well, he's not wrong.
Yes, autobiographical.
Right.
Oh yeah, there's an NBA player. His name's Sean Marion, and he got something tattooed on his leg, and it was in like Chinese letters, and it was supposed to say or characters, but it's supposed to say something that it was about how like good he was or something. I don't remember, and it ended up being something like about moths or something. It was just totally the wrong characters because they look similar, but it means something about moths now.
Right. I mean, there's absolutely there's no undo key, I guess, for tattoos. Like if it's not what you want or if it's spelled wrong or whatever, you can't just like undo or I don't know what another fun analogy would be like. But
Control Z.
Control Z. Thank you,
Yeah,
Alex.
thank you.
But go ahead, Alex.
Well, I was just I just got
Control,
back.
delete.
Yeah, exactly. I just got back from Europe, and I met a bunch of people there. And one of the people that I met had on their neck a scar, and they were doing surgery to remove a tattoo. And the person was my age, was 19. So that quick of a regret because that person wanted the job. And so the number one advice, if you're going to get a tattoo, is think about what kind of profession. Unfortunately, you have to think about your profession. Try to not put it in a place where it's totally visible, but a place that you can always know is there. And then you were talking about the movie, and I wanted to make another movie reference. If you've ever seen Dude, Where's My Car? Don't get a tattoo that's on like your back so you've never can see it. Because then you'd end up asking other people what the tattoo says, and then it's a lot of confusion.
Yeah, and if you try and look in the mirror, it's going to be backwards.
It's going to be backwards, and
Yeah.
then you're going to freak out and go back to the place, and big problem. So
Yeah. I mean, like I've seen people say, "Well, I'm going to get myself all tatted up and get sleeves and all that because
like
then
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, because then I have to be a musician and there's no fallback position. Like I'm going all out. I'm never working in an office, but
There are positions at Hot Topic
Yeah.
available.
all right, they're hiring. Yeah, Liv.
So the best tattoo I ever saw was at Disneyland, and it was this woman was wearing shorts and she had children, but it was a rose and it took up her entire thigh, and in the middle of the rose it just said slut.
Oh my word!
I thought it was going to say like a children's name or
Nope.
something. Nope.
Nope.
That is her child's name, Slut. It's Russian, I think.
It's Russian.
It's Sloot.
Pronounced Sloot.
Sloot, yes.
Go ahead, Keo.
My oldest brother has a lot of tattoos. He doesn't have sleeves or anything, but he has tattoos on his chest and his side, and they're very thoughtful. They're kind of inappropriate seeming, but they have meaning. It's like it's of a gun, but it's the word wisdom spelled in a gun, and his middle name is Wisdom. It's his actual middle name, and it's supposed to represent like wisdom is his weapon, and like, and then he has like a vest kind of thing of all of his siblings' initials. So, and then he has a tattoo across his chest that says "Family First." So, I mean, that's kind of meaningful to me, and like those are good tattoos. But like an ice cream cone on your face is kind of.
Well, what
I was hungry.
I'm gonna get I'm gonna get like my GoDaddy password. You know, just things that are easy to forget.
Yeah, just tattoo them on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Every 6 months when you change it, just
Yeah. Who hasn't talked? Olivia.
I mean, it's great if like tattoos mean something to you, but like also if you think a deer is going to look great on your arm, just do it. You know, if that's really what you think and that's what you want, I mean, you don't need some great meaning behind it. If you like it and you want it there, do it.
But you know, like the analogy that I like to use, and I'm going to go to you, Austin, in a second. The analogy that I like to use is like, you know, look in your closet, look at the clothes, and ask yourself, do I still want to be wearing these in 25 years? And that's what a tattoo is. It's permanent. So, I mean, I think everyone should have to wait until they're 25 to get one, and then maybe you'd be getting one that you would want for life, because the stuff that people think are I mean, if everyone had to, if we all had to live with our email names that we picked out at 12, that'd be a sad land.
XOXO Wheezy.
Yeah, just say your email address. Say your first email address.
Oh no,
Yeah.
mine's Olivia but one. It always has been.
Oh,
I know.
Oh, that's so boring.
But so last summer when I got my roommates for staying, at Emerson,
Yes.
one of my roommates' email was like, Joe Bros 12, never forget, love them always at
That's her first email
gmail.com.
The longest email address ever.
Austin?
I think tattoos can be really good if you pick out the right one and you're sure that 60, 70 years from now it's still going to be good. Plus, I don't really believe in the idea of permanence anyway. And
That's true. None of us are permanent.
yeah. And there's tattoo removal. I've seen lots of tattoo removal places around.
Okay.
Oh, and the other thing is that if you're getting a tattoo based on that logic that Wheezy was demonstrating earlier, like, oh, I have to get a tattoo, then I'll be dead set into being a musician or something. That's really faulty logic, because you're not going to be any more likely to be a successful musician because of wearing tattoos, I think. And you're really just limiting yourself that way.
Does your dad have a tattoo, Aaron?
He hates tattoos. He despises tattoos. One of his very best friends in the world actually has a considerable number of tattoos, and Dad never lets him go about that. He's always like, oh, there's the tattoos. Get out of my pool. I mean,
Get out of my pool.
yeah. Oh, my. Yeah. Or he'll, and he just got a motorcycle, which my dad hates too, so he really is just like, oh, my God, this guy, I love him, but I hate him. So
Your dad has very strong opinions.
he has very strong opinions, and I don't agree with all of them, but you gotta admire the fact that he's got conviction.
888-531-7171. If you are at the tattoo parlor right now, call us and we will help you rethink that life choice. Do you have any opinions about tattoos, young Jacob?
I would just say that if it's something like really meaningful to you, something that's important to you, something that shows your personality or something that you've loved or someone you've lost, anything like that means something to you, I mean, that's okay. But, anything that's just silly, like a smiley face or food or some weird-looking animal.
Right. Yes.
My school mascot.
Just
anteater.
use an emoji and wait till the feeling passes. We're going to move on to the next question because we've got some good ones coming up from Cheer Girl, and I would love to have Aaron read this one. Cheer Girl
I'd love to read it too. I don't have it though.
You don't have it? You don't have Cheer Girl 12?
No.
It's at the bottom.
Oh, here we go. Thank you, Alex. Cheer Girl 12. I'm going to the fair with my boyfriend this week, and I mean, this is our first date. We've gone, not my boyfriend. Yeah, not my boyfriend. We've gone to the pool together and went to the park and rode our bikes around the neighborhood. But now we are going to the fair. Should I still invite friends? I mean, I don't want it to get weird, but I just want to spend time to get to know him better and just be with him. So should I still invite a friend or let us have time to ourselves? Also about transportation, I'm only 12, so I can't drive. should I let his parents take me, or should I let my parents take him and me, or should we both just meet there where our parents each take us? Sorry for so many questions, but please help me out. Thanks, smiley face.
So 12-year-old boys, yes, this is how much 12-year-old girls overthink dates. Go ahead, Alex.
My first comment was when I saw it, and I said, I'm going to fair with my boyfriend this week, and I mean, this is our first date. So usually it's the other way around where you go on your first date and then you declare the boyfriend thing. But
no, but not 12-year-olds. We've got one right here. He knows you say to someone, do you want to go out? And that means we're going out. Yeah. You do that ahead of dating until you're 16.
Man, the future is bright.
And when you're 16, like 18, then you ask someone out on a date long before you become an item. But see, kids don't have any time. They don't have. They need to seize the moment. Yeah. You know, there's limited time with
now
the person.
I tweet to go on a date if you want to.
Oh, do you? Well, that's pretty smooth. Okay. Go ahead, Ryan. Anyway, advice for the kid. Advice for the kid here.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, that was also my first thought. I mumbled it under my breath when we said it, but I didn't have a microphone in front of me. But I think that, I mean, if you want it to be a date, then don't invite your friends, but just don't do anything more than share a cotton candy.
No, I don't think they're going to be at a fair, but like the thing is, would they? I mean, you're 12, Jacob. If you were going to the Earl Warren Fairgrounds with a young lady, would you be worried that you would run out of things to talk about, or would that? Because I mean, that is a lot of time spent with one person. That is a romantic interest. Is a lot of pressure. Would it be easier if your friends were there, or would you be like, no, my friends are not coming. I want to be alone with this girl. Like, what would be your preference?
It would kind of be really awkward if friends were there, but then again, I'm not really a very interesting person.
Oh yeah,
to
you
be
are.
Alone with
Make up a
another
story
girl.
about the last time you were at the fair.
I would probably run out of things to talk about.
That would be so. Would it be comforting if you knew that there were other kids and it was a group kind of situation?
It would be kind of a hard decision because it would be kind of awkward, but then again, you'd want to kind of get to know the person that you're going to go out with more than if you were just to be there with friends and talk about stuff that's going on with them.
So it's a tough choice to make, isn't it? Go ahead, Rory.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back when I was 12. I think when I was 12, when I was hanging with Devin Sirocco,
yep.
I think we would always hang out with girls in groups.
In groups.
Even if we were kind of dating them.
Yeah.
Just made it easier. Yeah, you do run into things. When you're 12, you sometimes don't always know how to...
Or you don't know... You don't run out of things to say. You just don't... You're not sure
You're
a girl would
nervous
want to know what
sometimes,
level you
yeah.
got to on this video game or have any cheats or hints.
She doesn't care about the Elder Scrolls, Morrowind, or
and like
Chappelle
every time you
Show.
think of like what you're going to say, you're like, no, she wouldn't. That wouldn't be cool. I don't know if girls. I don't know. Okay, Keo.
I think it's definitely easier for it not to be awkward if you have friends with you or more people. I think it's good practice to try, or it's just good to be able to be comfortable with just this person if they're your boyfriend or girlfriend. And to the parents bringing which parents should bring who, or if you should meet up, I think that depends a lot about the parents too and what they want.
Let your parents let them make the arrangements. Don't overthink this. It's going to be fine. I would say like from 12 to 13, like do a group thing, and that from 15 on, you should try and learn how to talk to the girl. That would be just my basic guideline. Liv?
Yeah, no, I was going to say definitely hang out in a group when you're 12. You know, it's also safer, you know, if you're going to a fair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I did. You know, we would go to the Galleria and just stand around for like hours and then go into Mrs. Fields and then Ben and Jerry's and then back to Mrs. Fields. That was my entire year.
That was the tour. That was the tour, yeah.
That's what all the charges were.
And that was a day. All right, Ryan?
Are you talking about the Sherman Oaks Galleria? There's nothing to do there.
I know. There's movies, though.
There's
It
a
has
Cheesecake
movies.
Factory.
Yeah.
And the movies are like $20 because it's like this.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
it's
true.
arc
You
light
can't walk back and forth a lot.
Well, you can wave to me because that's my office.
Yeah,
It's across the street.
he's across the street. Ice Man's across the
Oh,
street.
and no, wave to you next time.
Yeah, I'm on the fifth floor.
And they have a small a small unauthorized like cell phone store, just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Anyways, I was gonna say something that was actually relevant. Oh yeah. So you also asked about your rides, like transportation. It doesn't really matter. Just one of your parents should. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It just as long as you're with a parent. I don't think it really matters.
As long as someone knows where you are and when to pick you up, and that there's some safety
Yeah, just
rules
don't drive
in
yourself.
place, and that you don't get into a car with people that you don't know. Go ahead, Liv.
I also used to get kicked out of urban home a lot because
Well, yeah.
apparently you're not allowed to be in urban home if you're a minor.
Well, you're not allowed to like sleep there.
No, but like they would have
I
people
know.
follow you in urban home, and then they'd like ask you for your ID, and then you'd be like, I don't have one. They're like, you need to get out.
Dude, in
I
middle
know,
school, I
and
got
it's
banned
like-
from Target so many times for
So
having
hypocritical
dodgeball
'cause
fights.
They make it feel so homey, but then they don't want you there.
Yeah, no. Like
R-
we would just go
Alex?
in and smell the candles,
Yeah,
and
I
then
know,
they'd be
right?
like, get out.
What's wrong?
I have
Wow.
I have a genuine question because I never took public transit because it's not like an option really here, or it kind of is. But when you go from place to place, like to a fairground, would you consider taking like a bus or something, or is that like out of the question at 12 years old?
I think at 15, but I
Yeah?
mean, like, if it's like a big city, like maybe in Santa Barbara, but
I feel like in San Francisco,
yeah, well, like in New York, where everyone's
Yeah,
taking the
New
bus,
York.
like maybe, but I guess it depends on your parents and stuff like that. But usually fairs are like kind of out in the country a little bit, right?
yeah, just consider. Don't worry about like the logistics of going with your friend's parents, and driving with them, or him coming with your parent. It's not a big
no,
deal.
You text the
That's
kid
like the least
and
of
you
your
say,
worries.
"Let me get your parents' cell phone. My mom's going to call your mom." Or whatever.
Exactly.
Let's move
Parents
on
will
to the
handle
next question because I think we've got some good stuff coming up here that I want to make sure we get to everything. Give us a call if you have any thoughts. 888-531-7171. 717. You can just keep dialing 7171 as often as you like because it'll still ring through. And who wants to read the column? I thought the KAJ Army Girl wrote a really good column. Ryan, would you like to read it?
Yeah. So, Back to School Tips by KJ Army Girl. Today's feature, keep it together. Code it. Color code your notebooks and folders for each subject. Red for math, blue for science, and so on. Don't forget to keep a folder for general school papers like permission slips, lunch menus, and the like. Store it. You're likely to lose or mangle loose papers if you stuff them into a textbook or throw them into your backpack or locker. Not to mention you'll never be able to find an important paper when you need it. So take an extra second to slip any loose papers that you get into their subject folders or binders. Paper trail. Keep homework assignments, papers, quizzes, and tests for at least a month or so to review for tests. Track your grade, prove that you did them. Prove that you did them. Take papers home and store them in magazine files available at office supply stores or binders labeled for each subject. At the end of each grading period, go through files and toss what you no longer need.
All right. Anyone want to comment? Back to school tips and hints because, I remember every summer I would say to myself, this is going to be the year when I get really organized. And that would last a good 2 to 3 weeks. And then everything would be everywhere. Eventually, I caught on. In college, I finally got it. So I think it's still important every summer to really say, yes, this is my system. This system is going to be awesome. Go ahead, Ryan.
I do that every year too. It usually lasts me 2 or 3 days. But if that, I usually have no pencils left from all the pencils I bought after day one. I've just lost them all. But I think it's really important to stay organized. I made the mistake last year of not keeping an assignment, which was like a big part of a test my teacher told us we weren't going to take, but then we took, and then I didn't have a thing to study for it. I just had to remake this whole study guide. So it's just like, hold on to it until you're confident you don't need it, and it never really hurts to hold on to it for too long. It's just a piece of paper. And then, never lose your pencils because you will lose points for using pens on a math test.
Oh, really? Well, I think that girls are specifically for borrowing pencils from. Like, that's why they go to school.
Well, if you know you'll get one, yeah, but you'd be surprised.
Sometimes I get annoyed, though.
But you'd be surprised how many people won't loan you a pencil.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
How many of your close friends
I've
won't?
asked them all. Aaron, you wanted to say something.
Oh, yeah. I have that every quarter saying, this is the quarter I'm going to get organized. And that lasts until I get sick. And then that's when things go, and that's how it's been happening. Well, I'm super organized. Everything's great. My room is spotless. And then I get sick. And then, like, that week, everything just, like, I wake up.
Crumbles.
I know, the motivation is gone. But furthermore, the day that I'm feeling better, I wake up like, okay, I can finally go to school and feel good about this. And I look around, and it's a wasteland. Everything's just on the floor, on top of things. It's on my bed. It's on the ceiling.
So
It's like,
are
what's
you
going
sure
on here?
You're not, like...
And then it stays that way until
What
the
if
next
you're
quarter.
allergic to your room?
What if I'm allergic? Well,
like, because college dorms, how clean can they be?
You can make them really clean.
oh yeah,
I know you can, but like, what's in the walls from boy after boy after boy that's been living there?
Wait. So Austin and I share a room in our school apartment, and
you can. There's like a line in the floor, and it's not that we made it. It's just that he is clean. I am not. So you can see where, like, who lives on what half, and it's just it's fascinating.
And the bugs are like, "Come on over here, guys!
Yeah.
There's tons of stuff to jump into."
But I'll tell you what, a messy bed keeps bed bugs away. That's actually true.
Also,
Jacob, they're lying. Austin.
Right.
Counterpoint.
2 quick pieces of advice. One, if you're just not organized and you will never, ever be organized and it's just not a thing for you, be a philosophy major because you don't have a lot of papers. It's mostly just reading. And, I mean, you write some papers, but that's on your computer, so that's all good. And the other thing is if you're in high school, work on your pencil scrounging skills. Like, you can usually find pencils under desks and stuff. Stay after class, wait for everyone else to leave, and just look under all the desks. Guarantee if you do that for all your 6 classes every day, you'll find 1 or 2 pencils a
So
day.
you're the one who has everyone's missing pencil. You bastard.
He's the guy.
You can take pencils from teachers, man.
How are you supposed to know whose it is? And they roll.
I got the number 2 pencil.
Olivia.
Okay, so like I'm the person who like won't share. Like if you ask me for a piece of paper, I'll give you a really dirty look, and I'm like, "Oh, you're not prepared. That's cute."
I wouldn't let Rory use my computer, so
yeah.
I have nothing.
No, so well, I mean, I don't like it when people aren't prepared. So like, you know, I won't help them out, and maybe that makes me a bad person, but I don't care. And then I had a really similar living situation. I'm really clean. Like, I disinfect and bleach everything, and, you know, I have the bed bug protectors, and I don't allow anything but my roommate over the summer. I came back into the room one night after talking in the hallway with a friend, and she has the lights off, and I look over at her, and there's just what looks like blood just pouring from her head. And I freak out, and I turn the lights on, and she actually left Nutella, a jar of it, under her pillow, and it just started to melt and pour on her face. Yeah.
She sleep gnawed Nutella?
She was eating it in her sleep.
Humanity.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's like a horror movie.
I thought she was dead.
It's a dream.
Okay, Ryan.
Well, I stayed in a college dorm for a couple of days when I was at UCLA basketball camp, and it was a 3-bedroom. It was a 3-bed dorm, 1 bedroom. Sorry. But there were 2 of us in there, and it was still cluttered and the whole it was just messy after 2 days, and we had 1 less person than we're supposed to, so it can get really dirty. And then also, don't be too cautious about how neat you are, because today I was driving with my brother, and he went to Whole Foods and then got a can of almond butter and then shoved his hand in it and then ate it while he was driving. And then he decided it was time to wash his hands. So he took out hand sanitizer and goes, "Ryan, grab the wheel." I'm in the passenger seat, and he just lets go and starts hand sanitizing as I grabbed the wheel. And it was the scariest thing I've ever done. And my parents are going to be mad at me if I'm mad at him if they're watching this. But it was, don't get too carried away with washing your hands.
Yeah, be careful. Please, everyone.
So
Safety
no
first.
texting,
Safety.
no almond butter, no washing your hands.
Safety first. Alex.
One of the things that I found, regardless of high school, middle school, college, whatever you have, how clean your room is at home kind of dictates, for me at least, how I go about my day at school. I feel like if my room and my desk is all clean, when I come home from that busy day of school, at least I'm not coming home to a wasteland like Aaron expects. Because I had a roommate in college my first year, and he was the most messy. He was the messiest guy I've ever seen, and it was not good. And so he wasn't very at peace every time, because he would always come back and he didn't know where papers were in his room.
Right.
Try to keep yourself clean at home. That'll be a good first step, I think.
I think that's a really good tip, because if you walk into your room and you just think where do I begin? And you're already I think your surroundings kind of dictate your mood, and if you get so comfortable in a messy setting, Aaron, it's just easier to just stay complacent and just say body at rest will stay at rest and put more litter on the floor. But if you as Alex says, if you come home, and I know there's probably people that are naturally messy that are very productive and stuff, but I just think as a general rule of thumb that the sooner you learn that at least kind of knowing your own clutter, what's in this pile, and being generally kind of organized, you're gonna be more productive. It's not gonna be weighing you down. Go ahead, Liv.
Well, I was really messy up until I went to the hospital, and then if you kept your room together, they let you out. So I did that, and then when I got home, I was like, wait, I actually really enjoy cleaning. It's actually, like, it actually helps. So that's kind of when I got it together.
It does affect your mood, I think.
Yeah.
To be in at least to be able to look around and think, I feel good about. I mean, your Sims are happier when you clean up.
Yep.
Right? Ryan.
I was in a similar case scenario to that when I was at boarding school. We couldn't like go to school in the morning until we had like cleaned up our room. But then if we didn't clean up our room and we didn't go to school, then we were marked tardy. And then that was so it's like you had to clean your room. So that kind of worked out for me. And now it took me like a year to stop making my bed. Now I stopped making my bed, and I'm like I made it comfy. But and then one other thing is my like laziness about being clean follows me around. So it's not that my room is dirty, it's that wherever I am, which is usually my room, is dirty. So if I go to your house is a pigsty when I leave.
I've noticed
and like
that.
it just
That's why Teresa's here.
well, not your house. There's like
Oh.
I just sit on a couch and like blah blah blah. But like at Jake's house, chocolate milk cartons everywhere. I feel bad for him.
Well, hopefully you're going to work on that.
I
Jake
will.
is, by the way, at family camp, and we miss you, Jake, very much, and we can't wait to see you next week, and we hope you're having fun tubing. And Maddie's there at family camp with Jake and Benji, and we will see everybody next week. We are Our Place Out Loud. Good night, everybody.
We found a chocolate milk carton from 6 months ago.
I've been out there wandering. I've been in here wondering, hoping, reaching, wishing I could find my way. The